Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed the best night of the week, and you already know why. Because Fanatics Live is on. I am here. I am your moderator, your moderator. I'm here with the panel of experts. There'll be more that'll come on. There'll be a bunch that'll join. But just know that Fanatics Live is on. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Hashtag Fanatics Live, hashtag join the discussion. Fanatics Live is on. What's going on, y'all? Listen, we're at what, week 12 right now? It's 12, right? We're at week 12. We just had the Thanksgiving games, which was a really good one. We made sure we did a special Thanksgiving episode and sit there and talk about it on that Friday. So listen, we got a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack. I want to make sure you all are good. Let me talk to my panel of experts, make sure y'all are fine. Cello, what's going on, man? Salute to you, brother.
Yo, what up? What up? God bless. Always blessed to be on. Y'all already know what's up, man.
Yes, sir. God bless, man. God bless. Salute. B. Clark, how you doing, my brother? Salute to you, sir. How you doing? You look like you got fog in the house right now. It's a lot of fog going on in your background. I don't know what's going on. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. That's all that smoke from the Cowboys victory on Thanksgiving.
Okay, you know all that smoke, man.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Carried
I'm
over,
chilling,
still
man.
lingering. I understand. Listen, I understand. Salute to you, brother. Hope all is well, man. Good to see you on here tonight. Good to see you repping your boys. He gonna get the cloudy vision together while all that smoke in the background from there, all the excitement. But we got a special guest on here today. What up, Ruben? Happy birthday, sir. Let's give it up for that man.
Thank you, man.
Hey, you on here, Fanatic Live. Wow, on his birthday. Salute, man.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
How you
Glad
feeling,
to see
man?
the fellas. I'm good, man. I'm blessed.
Excellent.
Glad to see the fellas doing good. And let's get this thing started, man.
I love it. So you got a birthday. Your boys is somehow still in contention. You got a lot, Thanksgiving just happened. You got a lot to be thankful for, man. I know, I know you're excited. So listen, man, we're going to go right into that. We're going to dive into it. Hopefully your teams have been doing what they needed to do. We talked about last week. We gave the floor to the winners, for the Thursday game, which was really, really impressive. It was a good fight. Cello, as much as we clown you, I got to say, man, with y'all being down, with not having full capacity of your team and not having superstars, you guys were competitive for the first half, and then the second half, it just took a total different shift where the Cowboys woke up. It was like, why are we playing with our food? Ruben, why they playing with their food? They was tired of playing with their food. They said, let us eat. And then they ended up eating in the second half. So, Cello, I seen Dable has put out a challenge to the players. I seen Thibodeau mentioned it. I'm gonna start with y'all, and then I'm gonna start with Atlanta, but I want to kind of set up with you first. So he put out the challenge to the players, letting them know the season starts now. What is your take on that, and why such a major response when y'all got, only 7 wins, 4 losses? Why so much pressure? Is it necessary, or you feel like it might be a little bit of overreaction? What's your take on this type of response from this coach?
I think it's across the board. December football. You already know when December football comes. This is why you win all those games that you can win at the beginning. This is the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? So you got to put that message out. I'm pretty sure the players already know that, but it's letting them know we about to turn this up a little bit. They started practicing with pads again. They ain't practiced. They said they ain't practiced with pads since the Houston game. So they practiced with pads. He was letting them know, listen, we about to turn these practices, turn it up a notch, because we trying to get in the playoffs so we can have a shot. So definitely a message all across the board, what I believe with all the teams.
Okay. So you're in agreement that like it's crunch time right now. This is where you gotta really turn it up. So no time to get comfortable. And so the narrative that's been floating. I'm definitely one that's been pushing it. I know Mark has been pushing it. I don't know if anybody else. I know Aaron came on and he said that he felt like y'all was going, take that third spot and y'all was going to get in. How confident are you? Because it's documented before I move to Atlanta, and then I'm going to come back to your Giants, but I want to just make sure. Has anything wavered from Thursday of last week till now, now that the games are over from Sunday and seeing that Washington is right? They nipping. They nipping.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
right now that y'all gonna take that spot. And I've also heard about the whole 4 NFC teams getting in there, NFC East. I'm gonna dead that tonight, but I'll get to that in a minute. But what's your take, man? Y'all getting that number 3 spot, or is it gonna be Washington, man? Let's count the number 3 spot to start with.
Why gotta be number 3? Why can't be number 2? Why can't be number 1? Ain't nobody clinched.
Number 2.
Listen, ain't nobody clinched the division. We play Philly twice. We get 2 shots at Philly. Philly could lose another game. They could lose us twice. Ain't nobody clinched that division, man. Anything can happen from here to the last game of the season. And we play Philly the last game of the season. So why got to be the 3rd spot? Dallas beat us. We only 1 loss away from Dallas, man. Dallas could end up losing 2 straight. And we winning 2 straight. Back up to the 2nd spot. So I'm not saying we're gonna take the 3rd spot. I'm saying, listen, we can still get that 2nd or 1st spot. It automatically says we can no longer get the number 1 spot in the division. So anything can happen.
I'm with it. All right, man. It's documented. He can't take it away because it's documented, as we like to say on Fanatics Live. In his mind, forget the 3rd spot. We're not fighting for a position with Washington. We trying to get that number 2 spot. So listen, optimism is what works in the
don't say number 1 too.
But he talking about number 1.
You left it at number 2, man.
Number 1. He talking leapfrogging both of y'all, man. Listen.
Hey, I'm gonna let him have it, man. I'm gonna let him have them hot dreams, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, have them. Go ahead. I hope you sleep well at night when you say that, man.
He must be, man. He sleep. We gonna come back to that. Hold your put your thumb right there. We gonna come back to your Giants, man. I wanna highlight birthday boy gets the birthday man. Gets the first dibs, man. I gotta reach out to him. Ruben.
Yes.
ATL is in the building. Y'all got games. Y'all win games. You lose the ones you can win. What team are you guys, man? Because I know what I seen when we faced y'all. It was flawless execution, and I haven't really seen a consistency with that. So, y'all in the race, what's your take on your team, man? And is these next 6 games going to determine everything? What is your outlook on what you've seen and where y'all going, man?
My outlook is we don't have an identity. You know what I mean? We don't have an identity on defense, definitely. We got a little bit of an identity on offense, running the ball and doing what we do. Our goal line presence sucks. We suck. The red zone, we suck bad. You know what I mean? I've never seen a quarterback in the red zone throw across the middle like he did.
Was it from pressure, like the blind side, and he's scrambling trying to make a play, or is it just bad reading?
No, bad read, period.
Wow.
I don't see why he threw it. The man was standing right there in front of him. It wasn't even 5 yards. Why you even threw that?
They got them helmets on, so blind. They can't really. I can't even say that if he's right in front of him. I'm trying to justify it because I like Mariota. But
the man was right in front of him, across the middle, straight 90-degree pass.
Wow.
You on the 4? What was on the 6-yard line, the 5-yard line, somewhere up there?
Yeah.
That's up and out. That's ends or slants on the edges. That's not a across the middle throw.
And what's up with him not using his feet as much? He ran for like 50 on us. He made sure anytime we got pressure, he was out. He was not waiting. I don't see, is he still doing that or not as much?
Man, look, I don't know, man. That's why I said we don't have no. We what got us where we was at was the run game off the play action, and then you get there, and then you just get like you don't know what you're doing once you get there. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I don't. But let's get off of that because we lost. We know why we lost. Let's talk about these Giants right quick.
You ready to switch back? He like, listen, they must have died. Hold up, before you switch to y'all are right there with Tampa, who's 5. So I'm not gonna say y'all the worst conference right now. I'll say the most competitive. How about second? I'll say you got the second
Let's call
most.
it what it is.
We the worst. Call it what it is.
Stop.
The record speaks for itself. Everybody is below 500. We the worst. Let's call it what it is. Ain't no need to sugarcoat it.
I'll try to sugarcoat it.
Ain't no need to politic it. No, we the worst. We the worst, bro.
I mean, but in the
NFC, we are the worst.
Jack, right now, can I interject?
Everybody in that division is literally still in the race. The Saints are 4-8, thanks to us. And Tampa's only 5-6, and Atlanta's 5-7. Carolina's 4-8. Carolina beat Denver. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, who wants to? Here's a question to the NFC South: who wants the division? Simple question: who wants it, man? So, Ruben,
I mean, I just
to be able to. Who do you see ultimately pulling it out? Is it Tampa Bay? Turning around and get 9-10 wins.
I see it's gonna either be Tampa Bay or us, but I don't want to go to no playoffs with no sub 500 record.
I mean, didn't
and it's been like that for I think for the last what? Huh?
They happened one time before. Like back in that was a couple years back when they went 7-9. The winner of that division went 7-9 and went to the playoffs. Something like that.
That's familiar.
That was New Orleans, I think. New Orleans did that, right? I think it was New Orleans that won that division.
Yeah, I believe so. I remember that. It wasn't too long ago either.
But they had an identity.
Yeah.
They
had an identity, and they stuck to what they knew what to do.
I think Atlanta's problem for real is, I mean, you talking about identity, and identity is the problem, but you don't know what Mariota you're gonna get from week to week. You know what I'm saying? So you can't establish an identity with somebody you don't know what you're gonna get from week. You got some people over there. You know what I'm saying? You got some people over there. They put I ain't gonna say no star-studded people like, some stars over there. But you got some people that can potentially win games, and they didn't show that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't show that, but
look, when they played their brand of football without the mental mistakes, they was on point, bro. Like
Mariota done got our tight end hurt. He done got our tight end hurt.
He is, Mariota. Right? What is his state right now? Is he done for the year, or is it like
he done for the year? He done for the year.
Wow.
He threw it. There was 3 people around the man. What are you doing? Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, man.
Like, what are you doing, man?
I mean, you got look at this. Like, if they would have won that game, they would have been first in the division.
Yeah.
They lost the game at the goal line, man. First of all, I don't even know why y'all ain't run the ball.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, why you pass the ball? Run 2 times, and then if you got 4,
that's identity. We got 2 running backs.
Yeah, that's a fourth. That was
got 2 star running backs back there.
Yeah, I ain't gonna. I was like, this game in the bag. Yeah.
I mean, listen,
I was like, this game in the bag.
So you got to show me. You got to stop my run game. You got to show me that.
Look, when we play and that's weird because this might be a division thing because when we played New Orleans got the ball down to like the 2-yard line. We caused Kamara to fumble like a couple of plays, on a previous series. We caused him to fumble. Our offense got it 3 and out, and they punted it right back to New Orleans. New Orleans then drove and got back to near the goal line and didn't run once from like the 2, and we stopped them. They didn't run. Like even the announcer, he was getting on my nerves. Daggone Mark Sanchez was like, oh, why is New Orleans not running? I was like, yeah, I don't know why either. I mean, I know Kamara fumbled, but come on, though. He get it. He fumbled twice in that game, but he could get in from the 2-yard line. But yeah, they didn't even take a shot.
Right.
So that might be a division. I don't know what that's about, man. That's interesting that you mentioned that because that popped in my head. Well,
was Kyle Pitts your best red zone player?
But them Giants, let's talk about them Giants for a second.
He said, he had a question for you though, Ruben. I'm about to go to the Giants. He asked you a question. Is Kyle Pitts y'all best red zone player? Was he your best red zone or was it Drake London?
Nah, we got that rookie wide receiver. He's 6'4".
Okay, so he's been the red zone threat. Yeah, because you were saying
you just can't throw it. You can't throw it across the middle and expect him to get it.
True. You were saying that Kyle they wasn't really getting him as involved. You know, he's had a couple games with like a touchdown here and there, but they wasn't getting him as involved. So him being gone's a blow, but since you guys weren't using him quite as much, it may not hurt you as much. But Drake London's balling. Drake London is balling for y'all. So all right, cool. Anything else on your Atlanta Falcons before I move forward, man? Y'all still in the hunt. So all hope ain't lost, but y'all gotta will the real Atlanta Falcons please stand up?
Yeah, Drake London doing his thing.
That's what we waiting for. All right, man. So we gonna go and shift gears to the NFC East. So we gonna do double duty because we got both of them on here to represent. I'm gonna start with the Giants first and then go to the Cowboys, kind of looking forward to what happened. We already recapped that Giants game. Please. We talked about Dable putting out the
challenge. I just want to this is what I want to say about.
You break it up, Ruben. I don't know what happened, but when he come back on, I'm gonna give it to him. Y'all can hear me, right? I'm good. All right, excellent. So when Ruben come back on, I'll let him get his off. But listen, Dable, as I mentioned, put out the challenge, B. Clark, to the Giants players. He let them know, you know what? The season after that
I didn't say
Cowboys, the season.
Yeah, you break it up.
Oh, Ruben back. All right, Ruben, let me hear what you got to say. Hopefully I can hear you because we couldn't hear you. Go ahead, Ruben. I don't know. Go out and come back in, Ruben, because you like stuck in limbo. So we can't hear you. You stuck in limbo. Go out and come back in.
Let him come back in.
Yeah, go out and come back in.
So good now.
So all right, so that's where we are with Atlanta. Now we're on the Giants. So my question to you, B. Clark. Your boys then lit a fire now. Is it under the Giants? OBJ is in the building. Actually, today, Thursday.
It's dinner.
Having dinner. My take, he ain't leaving New York. They gonna dine him and show him what he need to be there. And guess what? He gonna be like, cancel my other trips. Nah, he not. It's too much money for him not to go to other trips. I'll be honest with you. It's too much money out there. So I'm being funny, but I feel like it's going to leave a really good impression on him. But we'll get to OBJ in a second. B. Clark, y'all beat them. They gave y'all a fight in the first half, made it look like, listen, they were trying to come for that spot. Y'all lit a fire. Do you have reason to be concerned? That I don't think said, they coming for. They don't want number one. They want number two. They still gearing to get that top spot. What's your take, man?
I mean, with the upcoming schedule left, you know what I mean, like these next 3 games, we got Indy, Houston, Jacks. Like, you know what I mean, those 3 right there coming in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they gave us a good fight. I mean, Giants ain't no slouch either. But at the same time, hey man, we're gonna put up numbers. Number 1 offense since Dak got back. I mean, and if we get OBJ, and if we get OBJ,
that little flex, I like that little flex you snuck in there. Number 1 since Dak been back. Okay.
Yeah. And so we were talking about Cooper. I mean, yeah, number 1 since Dak been back. Top five defense. You know what I mean? Like, if we force any team in the league to pass the ball to play our game, we can't be beat. We'll be number 1. We can't be beat. We'll be number 1. And then I mean, Brian Daboll, he just starting something.
Wow. Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys have talent across the board. Defensively, you look great. Offensively, look great. Again, it was against the banged up Giants defense, so I'm not going to take that from you on this game. And again, Minnesota, you look great against a 9-1 Minnesota team. So, you know, is this is I need I know I'm gonna give you a pass because you wrote your team off probably week 2 of the season when your boy got hurt and you jumped back and said, look, I recant that statement, my bad, my quarterback's back. So you know I thought the season was over. I'm gonna ask you flat out because I like to have documented moments that we can always reference. B. Clark, as a Cowboy fanatic, is this y'all year to win it all? We know Cello loves to clown you about those Super Bowls and how long it's been, but every year y'all are sort of in this boat and it kind of gets tiring of having the same conversation. But this year has a little bit of a different feel to it. So I'll pose it again as I was giving you time to let your wheels turn and think about it and give me an explanation of why or why not. Is this the Cowboys' year to win it all? B. Clark, the floor is yours. Ruben, myself, and Marcelo are all paying attention to what you say so we can bring this up later. If it do happen, go ahead, B. Clark.
I'm gonna knock on wood before I say this. You know what I mean? You put me on the spot, man. So,
yes.
This is the best team. I'm gonna put it like this. Am I gonna say we're gonna win the Super Bowl? I ain't saying that right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I ain't gonna say that because you know what I mean. Every year as Cowboys say that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I am gonna say is this is the best all-around team we done had in a long time.
All around. Okay.
Offensive wise, defensive wise, even special teams wise, we clicking on all cylinders. Like that Minnesota game going in, nobody saw it, man. You know what I'm saying? 40-3. And then really, for real, I mean, if the Giants hadn't scored that garbage touchdown at the end, they lost by 2 touchdowns too. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, best all-around team. Best all-around team we didn't have in a long time. We should have beat Green Bay. We had Green Bay. But Aaron Rodgers is gonna be Aaron Rodgers no matter who.
That's a fact. Especially against y'all. He's like he always has a good one against y'all.
Right. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, you get a ball back to him with a minute and a half left to go, 3 timeouts. I mean, like,
yeah.
But all around team, defensively, offensively, special teams, got to work with the penalties. I mean, and people say that our running game is our weakness. I don't consider it a weakness. You know what I mean? Because if our offense, I mean, it is a weakness, but we can make them play against it. You know what I'm saying? So our offense is so high power. I mean, we score enough points, we're gonna make the other team pass the ball, which is going right into our hands anyway. Or we get them into them long second down, third down conversions. Ain't nobody stopping our front 8. You know what I mean? Our front 8 is almost. I mean, I ain't gonna say unstoppable, but almost. It's there, man. It's there.
I got the most sacks in the league. I believe y'all up there. Y'all got the most sacks. We're number 1 ranked defense, I believe, right now. But y'all, in terms of like pressures and stuff, like y'all are number 1 in that area. So yeah,
I think y'all number 1. Y'all number 1. I think. I think we number 3 though. I think we number 3. Number 3 all around.
It's points allowed because we haven't allowed, which I didn't even know that stat until they kept saying it every time during our game. Yeah, the 49ers haven't given up a touchdown in the second half in 4 games. Yeah, the 49ers haven't given up a touchdown in 4 games in the second half. And I was like, why do they keep saying that point? But, you know, I guess that is a big stat. But, yeah, so you guys, pressure-wise, you're out there. So just so I'm clear, and I think we all heard it. So you made the declaration that this is the most balanced team, even compared to last year with the weapons y'all had offensively. You feel like this defense is a better complement to your offense than the firepower you had last year? That's what you're saying?
The people we brought in on defense, we brought in Fowler. This year. He was a big help this year. You know what I mean? Big help, and he already played with DJ. He already played with Quinn already. So you know what I mean? He was big on there. Getting back to the run, I think we threw the ball too much last year. You know what I mean? And looking at it, like we was talking about it earlier, and I was saying our season was done with Cooper Rush. It might have been the best thing for the team. You know what I mean, for real, especially for the offensive coordinator, it showed us we can get back to the run and balance it out instead of Dak throwing the ball 40 times a game. You know what I mean? So if we balance it, Tony Pollard is, to me, is better this year than he was last year. Ezekiel Elliott is doing his thing this year. People might say he might not be, but he's a downhill runner. He's running in between the tackles. He's our power back.
He looked fresh. He looked fresh.
Yeah, he looked fresh.
He looked fresh.
Power back, running up the middle, doing his thing. And so balancing it out more, I think we're balancing it out more this year, even though we had more weapons on the offensive end last year.
Okay. All right. I like that. Thank you for that breakdown. Let me go around to your NFC East opponent who played you twice. So he's definitely had a chance to dissect your team as a whole.
And got swept.
Well, they got It got swept. Got the broom, got it swept out of here. Cello, what's your take, man? Do they, I mean, I know you still want your boys' promised land trophy and all of that. And again, like I told you, the Vegas odds for y'all are like literally. It's like David Blaine making the Statue of Liberty disappear. Like it's like you got some odds. So I just want to know, do you feel like this is for the Cowboys in terms of what you know from facing them twice and seeing what they have going against them head to head and seeing what they have on their schedule? Is this a reason for Cowboy fans to be optimistic, or you feel like it's the same old song and dance again?
Well, first off, with the Vegas odds, they ain't pick us to be 7-4, so you could just throw that out the door.
That's a good play.
Throw that out the door. Forget Vegas. I don't buy that. You know what I'm saying? So throw that out the door.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Brian saying they would have won by 2 touchdowns, well, y'all wouldn't have scored that touchdown. And when you open up the second half, if the refs ain't keep that drive alive, that was supposed to be a punt. You're supposed to be getting there. Another thing, the refs that they was not calling no holding when Thibodeau was trying to get them sacks. Freaking game. Who knows? You could have got a couple sacks. Could have stopped some drives. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing is, this is the best that y'all got, and y'all couldn't even beat us out the door with this squad, with all the injuries that we got, and this is the best you got? Like I said, man, every year.
That ain't no slouch, though, man. I mean, you
saying,
slouch, though.
Listen, y'all the best marketing team in NFL history. Y'all know how to market a product that does not produce in the playoffs. Y'all know how to market a quarterback that does not playoffs. I don't care what nobody say. You can't give Dak all these props and he's not producing in the playoffs when you trash other quarterbacks that don't produce in the playoffs. He ain't Listen, if you want me to shut up, tell that dude to prove it this year. But right now, like every year, it's the same old story. It's the same old song. And it's going to be the same old results. So if you feel that this is what y'all best squad that y'all had in a long time, man, I'm happy. Because we just going to get better and better. For us to be 7-4 and y'all 8-3. And this is for us to be 7-4 with this roster that we got.
What the cello shooting?
And y'all to be 8-3. I'm happy for that, baby. So yeah, no, it's the same old song. It's gonna be the same old results. That's it.
I love it. Look. Tell them how you really feel, Cello.
Come on, man. Like,
this is the way it's gonna go. This is the way it's gonna go. Right now, we got all 4 teams sitting in the NFC East. Right.
Yeah.
Philly is already, to me, Philly has been exposed.
They pretty much.
And you could tell me, right? Philly did have a worse record in the division last year. You know what I mean? So they are.
Nah, Philly? No, not Philly.
Nah,
we did. We did, right?
Y'all did, and they lost the first round. So to me, I felt like Philly did have a little weaker schedule than everybody else in the division too. To me, that's just me. That's just
You
me.
did say
That's
they
me.
ain't play nobody. You said that back
Right.
in like week 4. Yeah, you said that.
That's just me. You know what I mean? I feel like they ain't really, you know what I mean? And then they got tested. You know what I mean? They got tested. They opened it up. They went. I mean, they picking up people on the defensive line. They getting ran all over. You know what I'm saying? So I
I got you, Ruben.
think Philly goes right, but you got 4. We already we're gonna sweep. We're gonna sweep Washington. We already swept the Giants. We already swept the Giants. We're gonna sweep the Commanders, right? And then we we got Philly, right? We got
Okay.
Philly. I'm waiting for that Christmas Eve. I'm telling you that right now. That game,
Redemption.
Christmas Eve. I'm telling you because the team to beat to me in NFCs, I mean in the NFC itself to me, right, is nobody in NFC East, and that's me. I think it's the San Francisco 49ers for real.
Respect. I'm trying to keep us on the low though. Don't blow us up publicly. Keep it on the low. Want nobody knowing it.
That's just me. That's me, right? I think everything from the NFC gonna have to go. I ain't gonna say it's going to San Fran because we ain't gonna have San Fran, but I think San Fran is the team to beat. Now, if Philly proved me wrong, But I think this year, and especially with OBJ coming to Dallas on Monday, if we can snag that right there and get that weapon right there,
I can't lie. Yeah.
that offense right there, and you could tell about. Come on, Solo, about having OBJ all them years, man. Even a 70% OBJ is better than almost 80% of the league, bro.
All right.
You know
Let me hold that thought. Let me go to Ruben before he forget his train of thought. Ruben, what was your rebuttal or what was your statement that you want to say? Go ahead, sir.
I agree with the Eagles' schedule. Their schedule is weaker than the Giants, and it's weaker than Dallas's. I agree with that. Now, let's get to the Giants. Y'all got the hardest schedule. I'm talking about the hardest schedule these last games coming up.
Yeah. Agreed.
They got the hardest schedule. They got, I had it up here. What I do with it? Y'all got Washington. Y'all got
Philly,
the Eagles twice.
Colts.
Yeah, the Colts is unpredictable. You don't know who's going to show up.
Who you going to get, yeah.
Right. Washington, you don't know who you're going to get. So these last 6 games, man, y'all got to bring it. Y'all got to bring it. And Dallas got a kind of hard schedule too, you know, because y'all playing each other back to back, Eagles, Redskins, all that, with the Dallas Cowboys. But they got one thing that y'all don't have: a quarterback that can throw that ball like he needs to.
Oh, good one.
And that's what's hindering y'all in the position y'all are in now. That's what hindered y'all against Dallas. Y'all start throwing too late. Even though their second string was in, y'all still was throwing too late. Y'all start slinging the ball all over the field with, 2 minutes left?
Yeah.
6 minutes was left, y'all running the ball.
Yep.
So it's definitely some coaching need to be there and some more confidence in your quarterback. Y'all need more confidence in your quarterback. I seen him slinging the ball when y'all was leading in the first half. He was slinging the ball.
They abandoned it. Yep.
But you know what
second half,
Dallas did, right?
Huh?
You know what Dallas did, right? They started covering Slayton more. They started throwing the extra defender.
We boxed them. We boxed Slayton in.
Galladay's not. Galladay's not.
He gonna give you 20 yards.
No, but Richie James is not. Richie James is like a wide receiver that you can get on a big play sometimes, but he's not. He's not a number one. He's not a number 2.
Is he better than Slayton? Who's better, him or Slayton?
No. Slayton has been our best receiver this year. But remember, Slayton's not a number 1 receiver. Dallas eventually said, okay, let's send an extra defender at him. We know what's the name. Galladay's not getting open. Galladay's not getting.
It don't matter if he's a number 1. It don't.
But Galladay,
it don't matter.
Galladay's not getting.
Look at San Francisco. When they stop Debo, who they go to?
Everybody else.
When they stop Debo, who they go to?
You got
Ayuk.
They go to everybody else.
Remember this.
Everybody else, yeah.
Do you see a number 1
you gotta remember,
after Debo, except for Ayuk? Do you see anybody else? That's a number 1.
Did you see that big? Did you see that big play Daniel threw to Slayton? Right, he got it right.
Great
you
play.
Seen another one, right? He dropped one, right? Slayton dropped another big passing play. He dropped one.
You
Now
still
listen,
gotta keep going to him though. You can't stop going to him because he dropped a ball.
Yeah,
listen,
man.
but that's why I told you Dallas sent the extra defender. And another thing you got to realize, bro.
Like y'all sent the extra defender for
yes,
Slayton.
yes.
We boxed. All we did was throw a safety over there. We boxed them. We boxed them in.
Well, let me ask you this.
Right.
So let me ask you this.
But we also
you take advantage. You take advantage of it.
We tossed.
There you go. Thank you. You take advantage of where they went.
No, I'm not saying Giants. I'm saying the Cowboys took advantage of us only having one big time play receiver. And they took advantage of that. Look at the Cowboys. They threw it to Lamb and they threw it to Gallup. You got two players that was making some incredible catches.
Yeah.
Galladay, we ain't see that all season with Galladay. And all we seen with Richie James was he may give you a big down play, but not all.
So what does that say about you?
Another big thing. I gotta remember we have a tight end, rookie tight end, Daniel Ballinger, who been balling out, got hurt the Jacksonville game, got his eye socket blew out, and then they had to get street cats. They had to get street tight ends.
Those be the best ones.
These cats got to learn the plays. They got to know the system. This is the pros, man.
So let me ask you this.
This ain't college.
So let me ask you this. With all you just said, how you got confidence in your boys even making it to the playoffs?
I'm wondering that same thing.
Because we 7-4. We getting 7 players back for this. We 7-4. The coaches figured out some things, but come on. At the same time, when we played Dallas, remember we was winning the game
in the first half.
In the first half, yes. But like I said, the second half came. Yeah, I was driving it up on our defense, but guess what? With our defense, we were missing key defensive players, but they was doing what they could to hold it. But when the ref extended a drive,
yeah, that's a big
that hurt us. That drive, that first drive out the half, that hurt us.
Let me ask you this: even with your the way the season be going, even with all your players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where go all year? Who's had a better defense, New York or Minnesota?
Who had a better defense?
I would say Minnesota.
I mean, you got to I would say our defense will pick up game by game.
No, I'm just saying.
But remember when McKenzie got hurt, that was in a bye week. Then Adoree Jackson gets hurt. These were our best defenders. They didn't even get to play this Dallas game, they missed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So this is my last thing. Why I say I'm confident in this team, because who got pressure? Dallas got the pressure. The Giants ain't playing with pressure. Trust me. So why can't we go in and win games knowing that we don't have pressure? Even if the Giants, even if
pressure on y'all.
But pressure doesn't.
No, he didn't. He told the players.
You don't think by him saying the season starts now?
No, come on. No, this ain't no pressure. This is, listen, y'all got a chance to make the playoffs.
I'd be like this.
Y'all got a chance to make the playoffs. Ain't nobody pick y'all to make the playoffs. Season starts now. Let's do it. But best believe, ain't no pressure on pressure. There's pressure on the Eagles side now, and there's pressure on that Cowboy side.
But you can't.
Wow, I did not look at it that way. I can tell you that much.
If we look, think about it. If we lose, the reason why y'all getting at the Giants is because of me. But the Giants ain't got pressure. If we lose this season, all they're gonna do is build for next season and for future seasons. This honestly, right now, we were not supposed to be 7-4. So I'm like, listen, we 7-4. Let's make the playoffs and let's get a shot. Let's see what we could do. But we don't have pressure on our side. Trust me.
Let me ask you this.
We can't talk about the pressure in Dallas though. We can. Dallas for real. We can be 0-16 and still play with pressure because
every year for them. Yeah.
Because y'all the best marketing team.
Okay. You can't be mad at that.
No, I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying when it comes
to
me ask you this. Playing in the big games, y'all lose. That's what I'm saying.
Nah.
Can't argue that.
Y'all good at selling the product.
That is definitely Go ahead.
Even when it came to Jerry Jones, y'all was good at that was good at covering that Jerry Jones situation.
We at Fanatics will not overlook that. We will definitely mention that because that is part of sports. So we will get to that. Good segue, but go ahead. That will be
best
asked.
marketing team.
We don't run from nothing.
Do you think Danny Dimes is the quarterback of the future for y'all?
I say this: I would love to see Daniel with a top number one receiver, an awesome number one receiver. I seen it with Eli when we had Plaxico Burress, Victor Cruz. You know what I'm saying? We had some top receivers.
And Garcon, don't forget.
I would love to see Daniel Jones with a receiver, a top receiver that he can be consistent throwing at.
Mm-hmm.
I know for sure you're gonna really see how good this dude is, but he hasn't had that. And we 7-4. This dude with a receiver, top number one receiver. Imagine what we would be with that. And then you got to look at it. We 7-4. When we enter depending on what happens this season, I'm believing we're going to the playoffs. We go to the playoffs with Daniel Jones. Who we getting in the draft? With the record we end up with, who we getting in the draft? They gonna be gone. I'm sticking with Daniel Jones, man. I'm sticking with Daniel Jones.
Hey, the reason y'all ain't got no wide receivers because of y'all.
They got a wide receiver. Y'all keep forgetting they spent a nice amount of money on Galladay. Like they spent dough on Galladay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That joint hurt.
Get
and
number one receiver money, man.
Like I said, that's why I said what I said. Y'all don't have no other top receivers because of y'all.
Yeah.
Because of Gettleman messed up on that, man.
He don't want to be there. They traded Tony. Like y'all.
That's on y'all, bro.
But that's not on Dable. That's not on Shane. That's on Gettleman, who's not here no more.
Tony is though. That's on Dabo's clock with Tony.
Yeah.
Tony's your first round pick last year.
Tony was Gettleman's pick.
I'm saying trading him. I'm saying y'all traded him. Y'all drafted him last year and then traded him a year later.
Because the cat, do you see him on the field with Kansas City?
Not right now, but when he did,
he got hurt. He got a hit. That's what we've been dealing with for 2 years.
Yeah.
The dude don't play. He don't get. Not only that, the cat ain't know the playbook. So not only you not on the field, but you don't know the playbook, and then you want to pout. So you know what?
I think if Danny Dimes has a different coach when I think Danny Dimes is a better quarterback right now as we speak. I mean,
look at what's the name of Buffalo. Look at what's the name of Buffalo. He been turning.
Don't compare him.
Look at Dable and the Giants. Has what's the name decreased his turnovers? Yeah. They're doing a good job with Daniel Jones with Dable. It's just we ain't got the receiver.
So Terrence said you can't see it, but Terrence said Tony was a reach. And like he always says, he says there's no receivers, like he said. Y'all don't have anybody. So listen, man, you have a big in my mind.
We had Shepard.
Yes,
Shepard got hurt towards ACL.
Yeah.
That was like the third game of the season. Another cat, he'd give his all, but he couldn't stay healthy, man. So you forget that we had Shepard. Shepard was a big time, a really good. And then remember Wan'Dale Robinson, the rookie receiver.
Oh yeah,
he tore his ACL.
Timmy, y'all.
That's why they're gonna.
And thank you, Cello. I'm gonna go around a bit because I don't want to make this Giants show because but y'all are very interesting as a topic because of the fact that I will give you props on this. Y'all was not predicted to be in the position y'all are in. I did see a lot of optimism from the fans during the offseason, even when me and Lamar did the live event and there was Giants fans there. The vibe was like they felt like this year was something special. I said that when we was there, like, yo, they really believe like this year might be something. This is before the season started. And now that you guys are even with all of the blows that you've had from losing your starting receiver, losing your promising rookie, losing your starting corner who was balling with Adoree, y'all have overcome some stuff. I just feel like I think right now, what y'all have run into schedule-wise might catch up to where you guys are. That's the thing. Like, can you overcome it now at this stage where it happened earlier? You might have been able to kind of overcome some of them obstacles. Right now is the true test of the grit that your team has with this schedule all in. But I do like the fact that they will put the challenge on the team. Timmy, I'm sure you're aware of your coach's challenge to all your boys that the season starts now. You like that? You like that?
I like the challenge. I like that challenge, and it's a good thing for Coach Dable to do something about the streak that we're in, and it ends on Sunday with the Commanders, which I call them Cobra.
Cobra Commanders, yeah. Okay. So so you gotta. So in your prediction, y'all take care of business with Washington. That give you the 8 wins. Realistically, y'all only need maybe
three
nine
wins.
wins to get in. To be honest. Yeah, you only It's
10 wins can get you in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not far fetched. It's gonna be a fight because Washington, they look all of a sudden, B. Clark, Washington looked like they want to make something out of the season. When we had Corey on here just 3 weeks ago, he was like, no, I want the draft. I don't care about no playoffs. Give me Hooker from Tennessee. And now he believing. He like, you know what? Can't do that. We winning games now. We want that playoff spot. So, you know, this is what
so
happens.
all we need is three. Yeah, all we need is 10 wins. 10 wins can get you in the playoffs. 9 wins can get you in the playoffs with help.
Yeah.
And forget about the 8-8. So 10 is the goal.
10 is the goal. I like that. 10 is the goal. Giant, listen. 10 is the goal for you Giants fans. Ruben, they believe it. Do you believe it for them as I go around and close out the Giants? Because I've given them sufficient time. Unless Timmy has more to add before I go back to him. Ruben, what's your take? 10 wins? Is it going to happen for them, or you feel like the schedules and injuries going to catch up to them? Can't hear you, sir.
They're going to have to show me. I don't believe they're going to make it.
Let me ask the question, though.
Go ahead. I respect it. Thank you, Ruben. That's very direct. Go ahead, Clark.
My NFC East guys, though, right? With their injury to the safety with Philly, what's his name? Gardner Webb, I think his name is. Mm-hmm. He got a lacerated kidney. They talking about putting him on IR.
He got a what?
A lacerated
kidney.
Which means and a broken rib. So
with that, when that broken rib had occurred, it must have scraped the kidney area.
That's like getting hit by a car. That's what
I said. Did he get hit by a car?
So with that being said, do you think the Eagles are what it is? Do you think we can jump up? Do you think the division is open now? I think it is.
I believe his season is over. If you have a lacerated kidney.
Hey, that's a big loss. I didn't know that's what I didn't know what his status was. Thank you for that. I didn't even know, B. Clark. Wow.
As the overall team is Philly, I'm not Philly. Do you think the Philly gonna lose a couple games because of that? Because he got to be out. If they put him on IR tomorrow, he got to be out for at least four games. At least.
The question is, who's their next opponent?
They have, I can tell you the schedule right now. Week 13, they
play Tennessee.
They play Tennessee?
And it's at home.
What about after that?
I'll tell you right now. For week 14, they have, and I'll tell you right now, I'm pulling it up. The Eagles have the Giants the week after that. Week 14.
Then they got Dallas. After that, right?
No, we got them Christmas Eve. We got them Christmas Eve. So that's 3 weeks from now. Right? Yeah, that's 2 weeks. Yeah. Tennessee, Dallas.
They're gonna lose the Dallas on Christmas Eve.
They come to you guys week 14 at New York. So yeah, it's a
if you're a running team,
like I said, we're gonna have a split against Philly. If we don't get a split from Philly, then we might get a sweep on Washington.
I don't know.
I said it ain't guaranteed,
Heineke,
man.
Heineke.
It ain't
Go ahead,
guaranteed for Philly. It ain't guaranteed for Philly. Like, you know, you even look at Tennessee. Tennessee in the last 9 games, they 7-2. They could lose this game. They could lose the next game. It's not guaranteed.
No, it's not. It's not. That
That's
Webb,
what I'm saying. Until
Webb
you
getting hurt
clinch the
is
joint.
huge.
But
Huge.
the only way Tennessee gonna end up winning is Derrick Henry and that offensive line.
They're gonna just keep feeding him and feeding him. So that's not. Say that again.
And think about that. Washington. Think about that. They have not been good against the run.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Just to let y'all know, so with Gardner getting hurt, depth chart wise for Philly, we've seen Blankenship get the interception against Rodgers. So Blankenship looked like he's gonna Blankenship looked like he's gonna be the one taking over that spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big loss because he's a safety where Gardner was a corner playing safety. So yikes, that's a big loss, man. That's unfortunate to hear that. That's the only thing with football that really bothers me as opposed to every other sport. Every other sport has injuries, but the frequency in football really messes up the dynamics of your team because and again, it happens because it's football. It's a barbaric sport, so it happens. But man, having an injury like that, I like to see teams, and I was talking about it on the chat. I personally like to see teams at full strength where you can face them and you can, win or loss, you face them at full strength, not where they got to pick up the pieces and, a couple of injuries here and there, but not like key guys. I hate when key guys go down because now it messes up, it messes up the dynamics of your team as a whole, man. So I don't know. I'll give my assessment.
You remember this guy named Napoleon McCallum?
Oh yeah, of course.
From the Raiders?
Yes.
You know how his career ended? Your former linebacker, Ken Norton Jr.
bent his knee forward. I remember. Yeah, it was disgusting.
He did the same thing with Napoleon Kaufman. But Kaufman kept on playing the year after.
Yeah, I remember that game. That was I'm not gonna say a Monday night. Might have been a Monday night. It was disgusting. The
McCallum injury was on a Monday night.
Monday night. Yeah, that was a disgusting injury, and they kept showing it. You might want to turn away, but look. You might want to turn away, but look at the bone break out of his skin. It's horrible, horrible. But all right, man, Giants. I gave y'all every bit of time that I can. I'll let you chime in here and there unless some news happened overnight. What's going on to the young fanatic out there flexing? I see the muscles out there. What's going on, man?
Flex the muscles.
Look, luckily he don't have no cowboy gear, so he still can be converted. So listen.
Look at him.
What'd he say? Cowboy. Oh gosh, Daddy got to him. We don't like booing kids on here, but we go boo him. We love the children. But like Cowboys, man. Listen, I was trying to see if I can sway them. Look, you like the color red? I know a team that wear red that look really nice. So let me stop trying to listen. Let me stick to my script. Listen, man. So in my assessment of the Giants, I said it last week, and I stand kind of with Ruben. Y'all gonna have to prove it to me, man. But I did sit back and I heard y'all loud and clear tonight in regards to the adversity that y'all faced and how y'all have overcome. I just feel like unless you do the one thing that I told y'all, you have to start getting the ball to Richie James. You don't see what I see. Richie James can get you keep you in the game. He can give you 80 yards. That ain't much. He said he's going to have a 150-yard game, but he can give you 80 yards and a touchdown. You just got to hit him. Hit him, and he's going to hit him with a 13-yard route. He's going to give you 20. He's tough in space. But if y'all don't utilize him and Slayton, you cannot, I will say this to you, you guys cannot, and I repeat, be one-dimensional for the rest of the season. Y'all turn into one dimensional. Them 7 and 4 gonna turn to 7 and 5. It's gonna turn to 7 and 6. It's gonna turn to if y'all
We had to
stay,
get everybody involved.
buddy, party's over. Like literally. So
We had to get everybody involved.
yep. Terrence, you got mad echo, man. Get your audio together so I can put you on. I'll mute you real quick because you got like. Oh yeah, Terrence, you got an echo. You got to get your sound together. I can hear me talking through yours. I ain't hear that before. So yeah, man. So that's my assessment of the Giants. We went over Atlanta. We went over the Giants because again, Atlanta's still in contention. Ruben's like they don't have an identity. I said, will the real Atlanta's Falcons please stand up? Because we waiting to see them. You know, I know what I seen, but I'm waiting for them to stand up and show who they really are. The division's waiting for them to take the lead. Tom Brady ain't looking that great. Tip ain't looking that great. Mariota can do some things, but then he got blinders on. He just throwing passes ill-advised. So who wants it in that division for the NFC South? We talked about B. Clark and the Cowboys. Terrence, y'all lost to the Carolina Panthers, man. I don't know if you even care about this season at all. I'm going to unmute you. Hopefully you don't have an echo. What's your take on your boys, man? Is this season salvageable? Do you care or y'all draft now and that's it?
Listen, brother, it's always about the you right here. That's what I'm going to say anyway. Always about the you.
The Miami Hurricanes.
But anyway, I mean, anything can happen, brother. You know what I mean? Anything can happen. I ain't going to never say it's over. I always going to go out fighting. I'm going to go out on my shield no matter what. So anything can happen. I know I see the Cowboys fan up there, giving me the head chopped off sign, whatever. But you better hope that Jerry don't get his head chopped off with that stuff that came out. But and y'all are prone to start off hot and go off real cold. So, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I mean, anything can happen, but and the reality of it right now, I just want to see us just play better. Just play better. That's it, man. We're playing right now. We're not playing too well. When in games, it's just that coming down. I mean, the margin of our losses have been between, for the most part, I think besides one, between 3 and 6 points. So, I mean,
what happened with Carolina though? That's a Carolina? Explain that.
It's called third string offensive line. Can't block nobody. Can't block nobody. You come out in the first series, whatever, and you move the ball, and then your OC is not. The OC is Clint Kubiak, which he's not really. He doesn't have that type of experience calling games just yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he called the bad game, but we have a third string offensive line, a second string left tackle, and everything else, whatever. There's no experience on the offensive line, I think, besides the center, and he's banged up as well. You know what I mean? The one bright spot is at least we was able to run the ball. We, like I said, we did pretty well, man. I think the defense, man, is just getting tired and banged up. And that's just what it is. I mean, we have a 16-game season, which you in game 9, 10 right now? 12
at the time, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, when you think about it, you know what I'm saying? It's a long season, bro, to get somebody laying on you, and then you 3 and out, 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 3 and out. You know what I'm saying? And by the time you turn around, you done played 2 seasons in 1. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when you look at it from a defensive standpoint, our defense in pretty much every category, whatever, is top 5, top 10. But when you look at it from a standpoint of, being able to score and keep them off the field for a little bit to get a rest, can't do it. It just is what it is, man. I hope that if we do decide to, whichever way we decide to go, I hope that Hackett either, gives up the play calling, whatever, and says, hey, let's get somebody else in there. If we decide to go with a new coach, I hope it's Anthony Lynn. I'm not sure if they'll give him. I'm not sure if he'll get another. I've been saying Anthony Lynn since he was a Charger.
I know you have. No, I love him. No,
you're done. You're done. You're not.
No.
You're done. You're done. He's not staying there. If he gets, I'm just going to say this to you, whatever. I hope that somehow, some way, and keep in mind, Ivero, whatever, was the DC of the Rams last year, whatever. So I think short term, if they end up, if Hackett loses this weekend, which he might very well do, I believe he may get the axe, and you'll get Ivero will probably get an opportunity to be the head coach. He'll get an audition. And honestly speaking, man, I think that he would probably be a really good. If it wasn't for him being a really good DC and maybe doing some things, I would pretty much say that your DC might be in the running. I think it's Dan. I think it's between Dan and Quinn.
Yep.
Your OC might be in the running depending on how Avero does. And
well, we don't have an OC. Our head coach is the OC. That's part of the problem. We don't have OC.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this much, man. The one thing I liked about Anthony Lynn when he coached for the Chargers is he always had them ready. They was always ready. They was always a complete team. They didn't get a whole lot of penalties. We lead the league in penalties, dude. Offensive offsides, holding. Every play that we have, we'll have a great play, and then they'll hold whatever, and they'll just take it right on back. It's almost like, you're playing so undisciplined. But again, you're calling in cats off the street as well. You have like literally all of these cats on the offensive line. I'm not making any excuses at all because it is what it is.
Right.
But you have these offensive cats coming in off the street that really wasn't even playing for nobody.
So let me I'm gonna I gotta ask because it circulated all over the place. Mike Purcell's interaction with Russell Wilson. I guess he's trying to fire him up. It was aggressive. I mean, they tried to downplay it, but anybody that played football know that when you go to the quarterback and you do that, you feel like he's not, I ain't gonna say pulling his weight, but where the fire at? Like, yo, we've been on this field all day. They beating us 23-10. Do something. So
you can't. I mean, the reality is, I don't think it was a situation where he was upset with Russ. He just was trying to see if they can get something going. You can't get blood from a turnip. You know what I'm saying? It's just at the end of the day, whatever you just don't have it.
Like his reactions just like show nothing.
Let me ask you this question: who was he supposed to do it to?
No, he did it to the right person. I'm saying, what about? I'm looking at Russell's reaction. Did you see any fire from his reaction? Like, all right, yo, let's go. Like it was just kind of like. All right.
I'm gonna say this to you, whatever. As a quarterback, whatever in the National Football League. There's only but so much fire that you can get because you have to be able to think. And he has to be able to brush it off and keep it moving. It's like a sack or it's like throwing an interception. You got to see it and don't see it and then keep it moving. Because if you go too far to the left or too far to the right, whatever, you're going to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? And in the reality of the situation, man, is that Russ is standing back there getting destroyed. I'm not saying that I'm not saying whatever that he's making the best decision. I'm not saying any of that type of stuff. I'm saying, but when I'm sitting back there, when I'm 1, 2, and 3, and coming off his left side, whatever, he's getting banged up. I mean, dude, he coughed the ball up twice because he didn't see it. And honestly speaking, whatever, I mean, what you gonna keep running back in the backfield, whatever? You know what I mean? And just the offensive line is it's a car, it's a race to the quarterback right now.
I mean, Latavius was averaging 7.1, but you only gave him the ball 13 times.
I mean, the thing is, whatever is that. When you look at the other plays, the other 12 plays before that big run he had, whatever, he had some decent yards, but dude, that's all off of him. That wasn't off of the old line. It wasn't really off of it. Really, we need to. The one thing I'll say about y'all, and the one thing I like about y'all is I give you a lot of
give you an assessment of Denver and what y'all think the problem is. But go ahead.
The one thing I like about y'all that I don't like the team because it's you anyway. But the one thing I like about your coach is he schemes. He can scheme a game. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about Hackett, he cannot scheme a game. It's just unfortunately he cannot do it. He can't scheme a game. He's shown it. And if you look at any of our previous coaches, that's the problem. Mike Shanahan came in. When Mike Shanahan came in, that was an entire different situation because he schemed the team and he said, okay, we're going to play to the team's strength. We're going to run the West Coast offense. We're going to bring players in. We're going to make sure that the offensive linemen went from bigger to smaller dudes that can move. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a situation where he schemed things, whatever, and that's part of the thing. If you can scheme it, great. But if you can't scheme it, man, no matter how much talent you got, you get down to your second and third string, man, you ain't going to do too much.
All right, so let me thank you for that assessment. All right, I'm going to go around so y'all can give me your thoughts. If you care. If you don't care, you like, yo, they trash, I don't care. I respect that.
Watch him out.
Yeah, I got a question for Terrence.
I know. Hey, this fanatics. If you want to scream, we're going to talk about your team. That's how we do.
Watch him out. Question for Terrence.
What's up, baby?
Ruben, all yours, sir. Go ahead.
Do you think
I gotta go.
Oh no,
I gotta go. So yeah, that's all I'm ready for. But
yo, happy birthday, Ruben. God bless you, brother.
God bless y'all, man. Y'all be safe.
Happy birthday,
Thank
my
you, thank
brother.
you, thank
Happy birthday.
Closing remarks.
As far as Denver, man, y'all man, y'all team is just messed up because of injuries, like you said, and they just can't get it together. And that's just what's going on. New York, you know what I said about y'all. Y'all quarterback, man. Y'all got to trust your quarterback more. I seen when he can throw it down the field. Y'all got to get that man more reps and trust him more, man. And I think he'll be better. I think he'll be better and he'll learn. You know what I mean? If you don't teach him and give him the time to grow, he ain't gonna never grow. So that's a Dallas. Y'all got to win in the playoffs, man. Y'all got to win in the playoffs. Y'all get there and then you disappoint everybody. You know what I mean? That's just how it go, man. And for us, we need identity. We need a defensive stopper like Parsons, like y'all got on Dallas, or one of them good defensive ends, man. We need one of them, man. That's what we need. Because we don't have no identity.
What about my boys? What about my boys?
We need a Bosa. All right, we need a Bosa.
Trash.
You know what I'm saying? We need a Bosa. Y'all boy on IR too, ain't it? Denver, one of y'all key defensive players on IR.
Gregory, he home smoking weed.
Oh,
At least you admitted it. At least you know what he's doing. So that's look. You know what? I respect that. I respect that, man. I respect that. That's what he's doing right now.
all right, y'all. I'm gonna head out, man. Y'all be
All right,
safe.
man. Be safe, man. Happy birthday to you.
All right, Rube.
Happy birthday, man. Enjoy, man.
All right, later.
Make the most of it. Enjoy. God bless. All right, man. All right, cool. So we on point. We on point. We did a nice breakdown of each team. I'm gonna go to Cello. We find out what you think of Denver. Do you feel like Denver is just not like they got a nice shiny toy named Russell Wilson and they have no clue what to do with him? Or is it just a matter of Russell, as I said in the beginning of the offseason, no shade, but shade. I said he wasn't going to do good in that division because I know what that division, how that division is structured. They're a pass-heavy division. Mm-hmm. I'm like, he's not that. He's an improvisational quarterback. He's good on improvising and having them kind of weapons. Y'all don't have that kind of team, so I don't know. Maybe next year
don't
might
care what you talking about, man. Get out of here.
But Cello, what's your think is the main issue with Denver? If you care.
Yeah. I mean, I think some people sometimes underestimate change. You got to think about we got a first year head coach for Denver. Russell Wilson got to come to a whole new thing going on. This was the first year, man. Like I think the expectations were too high. You know,
Bronco country, that's right. Though.
Yeah, I think the expectations was too high because of the name. But still, at the same time, everything still has to click. And maybe just this year,
Y'all got a first year head coach.
Yeah,
quarterback ain't changed though.
Quarterback
ain't changed though.
Yeah, quarterback ain't changed. Like this is a new coach, new quarterback. Everybody got to learn each other.
Okay.
And you know the NFL, you got to learn fast. And it just looked like this just be a thing that just. I think next season they're gonna be a problem next season.
I agree.
They're gonna figure things out. They're gonna get the players. They're gonna do what they need to do. And Cat's gonna remember this season how he was laughing at Russell.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's gonna turn around. Watch Russell. You gotta give him his respect, man. This cat has not folded, man. This cat has not folded. I just had one question for Terrence. Do you think that the media is just blowing it out of proportion for a story as far as Russell with his teammates?
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is that you got to think every time something happens when it comes to that sideline, when it comes to Russ, even in the offseason when Russ was just, practicing with the guys, flying them out to his house and stuff like that. Every quarterback does it.
Yeah.
Every quarterback in the NFL does it, whatever. But it was just a situation where who's his wife, whatever, and every time he turned around, whatever. And I think it was more so because who his wife is, more than because of him playing quarterback in the NFL. that he has so many eyes on him. You know what I'm saying? And the different things that come with it. So absolutely, I definitely believe that. I believe, honestly, my honest opinion is that any black quarterback, whatever that's starting quarterback in the NFL, whatever gets that, that's number one. And number two, I just think that based upon the fact of who he is and who he's married to, and also because of what they gave up for him, that it was like, you know, I mean, and to be honest with you, whatever, I mean, is it warranted? I mean, yeah, you're an NFL superstar. You're a quarterback. You play at the position that everybody, you know, is either they hate you or they love you at, whatever. It just is what it is. If it was a situation, if we were sitting here at 10-1, then all of that stuff would be fine, and everybody be sitting here laughing. But it's just the simple fact, whatever, is that's not what we are. We're 3-7, and is what it is.
Okay, I respect it. Timmy and B. Clark, I'm gonna let y'all chime in as I move and transition off of Denver. Any hot takes or anything you want to advise Terrence on that they need to do going forward, or you think this season is a wash? And what's your take, Timmy? Start with you.
Okay. I was trying to figure out what system that y'all had before. The 3-4 or the 4-3.
Good point. Who was
no,
it?
The defense didn't change. Defense has already remained the same. It's actually a 4. It's actually a, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, whatever. It's actually a 4-4, but you have your linebacker standing up, whatever. Your linebacker stand up or go down. So they pretty much wrote it's kind of like it looks like a 5-2 set for the most part.
That's what y'all run? That's your standard base? Wow. Okay, I didn't even know that.
It looks like a 5. Yeah, but because remember, if you look at it, whatever, you have a nose, they have a tackle. Usually have it's a 4. It's a 4-4. It's usually a 4-4 set, but it usually comes off looking as a 5-2 depending on personnel. Okay.
That would explain because y'all did stack. It looked like y'all stacking on us, but y'all wasn't. That's your bit. Oh, okay. Could definitely remember y'all having a lot of people in the box when we played y'all. So I do remember that. Okay.
Yep. And that's the reason why they was able. That's the reason why he was able to give up Chubb as well, because you have a younger dude in Browning. And honestly speaking, whatever is that. Although I like Chubb, the problem is that we don't know how healthy he's going to be. So he got his payday from the Dolphins, and everybody's happy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. B. Clark, I'm gonna go to you real quick, and as I wrap up Denver, say that again, Tim?
I think he froze.
Oh, B. Clark, no, he good. Go ahead, B. Clark. What's your take?
I mean, I like Denver defense. I do. I like Denver defense from early on in the season when they played San Fran in that low scoring game. You know what I mean, I like Denver defense. Their defense. You know what I mean? I don't think Russ is the issue. I think it goes back to what my man said about the injuries. You know what I mean? Your blindside tackle is one of the most important people on the field.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And if you play a second, third string guy right there, that ain't really got no clock. The quarterback can't really do nothing. I mean, a quarterback can't do nothing when he runs for his life all the time. You do that in the game, right? And like they said, I think next year, once they get healthy, can figure their roster the way they got. Because Sutton, man, that boy Sutton, he's a stud, man. He's a stud. You know what I mean? You're a stud, but if you gotta have time to throw the ball to him. He's
a big boy.
Once they get their roster together, I think this year's a wash for real to me. I mean, I think this year's a wash. Is done. You know what I mean? He's done over there, but I think once their roster gets the way it's supposed to be, offensive line wise, offensively, I think Denver can be a great contender in the AFC if they get everything good. If they get everything good and get everything together and do it the way they're supposed to do it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I think they can be, because I mean, I think Russell Wilson can be a top 10 quarterback in the league, can be another top 10 quarterback in the league.
He can be. I mean, you can't throw 19 or 35 and 142 yards against Carolina. Like, that's not.
You can if you don't. If all you're able to throw, whatever. If all you're able to do is 1-2 pass.
You only got sacked 3 times.
You don't have the time to develop a long game. If you watch Russell this year, whatever, he's been off on his long passes because he ain't got the time.
I mean,
1-2 going, 1-2, and Russell, and you know by playing with Russell, whatever is that he's not a 1-2-3 going quarterback. He's a 1-2-3, whatever. Let me see what I can do. Let me see who's going to get open, whatever. And that's and the thing is that I blame that. I mean, listen, Hackett is the head coach, whatever, and plays your quarterback strips, man. That's what I'm going to say.
All right. Respect. All right, so we gonna move off of Denver. Nice little listen. I want to make sure I get. If you're on here, I want to break your team down. That's what we do. But Denver, we gave y'all time. Cowboys, I'm back to you because we have to address a certain situation that Fanatics does not hide from anything. We talk about everything that's in the sports world. I'll talk to my Niners real quick. I'm just setting you up, B. Clark, so you know the conversation and the questions coming for the next 15 minutes that we have. We got Miami this week. Before I go to the Cowboy conversation, we got Miami this week. It's in San Francisco, thank goodness. So Mike McDonald bringing all of his Miami 49ers to play the San Francisco 49ers. So we get to see all of our old chums and all of our old buddies. Jeff Wilson, who just was our running back a couple of weeks ago, he's over there. So a little bit of talking going on, Tim. Miami been doing a lot of talking. Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert been doing some talking. So
let's go Miami.
Our defense. Go ahead, sir.
It's your time.
Go ahead, Terrence. Go ahead. Stalking me.
Go,
Terrence,
Dolphins.
by the way, stalking me.
All I'm saying,
all I'm going to say, 49ers webpage and left a comment under my comment. How would you find my comment? Go ahead.
Hey man, listen. All I'm gonna say is this: Go Dolphins, baby. I need that top 10 pick. Come on, man, help a brother out. I need that top 10 pick. I need a left tackle.
I'm gonna say it on here. You're getting the 32nd pick in the first round.
Yo, brother.
Y'all gonna draft a lineman.
We're gonna say in from the University of Wisconsin, left tackle at number 10. The Denver Broncos select.
Look, he rooting for our downfall, man. So I know we got them. We got the speed boys with Waddle and Tariq. Listen, I ain't gonna say that's gonna be easy, but they don't. Their defense is ranked 18th, and Tua is missing. I think it's starting left tackle, if I'm not mistaken. So Bosa is gonna probably get double teamed, but Ekubon is back, Armstead's back. So we're all guns are blazing, and them talking like they're gonna run on us really ticked our defense off. So Mostert and Wilson, just know y'all gonna get a nice welcome party when y'all get the ball. Y'all touch the ball, it's gonna be 4 to 5 people on y'all every play since y'all got so much mouth. Just want y'all to know
I think that's gonna be a problem for y'all, man. I think y'all best player, in my opinion, whatever is y'all safety, and I don't think you're gonna be the crowd that box, man. Y'all gonna be the crowd that box, man.
It's tour time.
Hufanga is good because I told y'all about Hufanga.
Well, I said he was good, but I don't think you're gonna be the crowd that box, man. You're gonna need over the top help.
Well, we ain't crowd the box. We don't play like that. We don't crowd boxes.
He played that box sometimes, man. That's where
because he likes to he'll blitz and but we're not gonna do that.
He's not gonna be able to do that. He's not gonna be able to do that. I don't think he's gonna be able to do that this week, bro. It's gonna be tough.
We can't do that. We gotta play. My main concern is the speedsters. I feel like Tua can make a mistake. We got to stay with Tariq no matter where he go. Make sure there's a safety over the top. You cannot play him with one corner, or they ain't got the speed to keep up with him one-on-one. Nobody in the league got the speed to keep up with him one-on-one. To be honest with you, so
you have to play. You're gonna have to play. Y'all gonna have to pick your poison. I think this weekend, brother.
It's gonna be 3. Look, we just signed Janoris. He's 31 years old. Let's see if he still got some wheels on him.
Who's that?
Legs.
Who's that?
Janoris Jenkins, the honey badger, not honey badger, the jackrabbit.
Oh Lord, you talking about? Oh man, he cooked.
Hey, we need a veteran experience, man. He might know how to play, man. So
hey, and you need a veteran experience, but he ain't it. That's for sure. And
as I get ready to move to the Cowboys, let me say this: Elijah Mitchell, MCL strain. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. We had a 1-2 punch with CMC and Elijah Mitchell, which was causing defenses problems. He's hurt for another 6 to 8 weeks, so he'll be ready potentially by the time the playoffs come. But I'm gonna put y'all up on a name that I knew about him in the preseason because he went from being undrafted to us trading Trey Sherman to getting Tevin Coleman cut. So I said Tevin Coleman cut. So the funny thing is, this young man from Georgia Tech, Jordan Mason, has earned his spot. He went from not being able to make the roster to beating out 2-3 other running backs. That's why he's the backup.
Mason is decent. I've watched Mason play in the ACC. He's decent.
Yeah, he's 223 pounds, runs hard. He runs hard. That's why we liked him, because in the preseason he was running hard. So he's taking over the spot for Elijah.
He's a decent back. I think y'all could have did better, but he's a decent back.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
No, I said that he's a decent back. I don't know if he's decent. You know, I don't know if he's going to be a superstar. I mean, y'all, honestly speaking, whatever it's going to be, I think y'all gonna have to play ball control offense, bro. Keep off the field.
I think that CMC said he feels good. He feels healthy. He said he feels good. So that's key. This Mason is a pounder type of back. So again, depending on how their defense is, again, it's ranked 18th. I feel like we can run straight at them, and he could probably pick up a good 5-6 yards. And our line blocks really well. And then, in my thought, I feel like we're gonna have to at some point activate Tevin Coleman from the practice squad because he's a veteran. So we'll see what happens. But I feel good about our depth at running back. I'm actually not too mad because I wanted to see what Jordan Mason had anyway, because we kept him on a roster all year. So we'll see what happens. But look, Miami is not an easy walk in the park. Their receivers are fast, so I want to see what happens. So that's where I'm at with it. But
I think y'all beat Miami by.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Miami's schedule like my man Philly schedule, right? It hasn't been. I mean, they played a couple of games, but they haven't really played. Right? This is the time right now. And Miami's schedule. I think they got y'all. I think they got Buffalo. And I think they got somebody else. Right? 3 back away games, tough teams to go against. This is to tell us if Miami's for real or not. You know what I mean?
True.
Coming up against y'all, their defense, man. I think all Shanahan gonna do, because all they do is the same thing that Andy Reid did, was put Tyreek Hill on one side of the ball, on one side of the field, and run him to the other side of the field. Just run as fast as you can. That's all they do. And I think y'all gonna box him. All you gotta do is box him.
It's hard, bro. That's a hard dude to. That's gonna be hard, man.
Easier said.
I was gonna say Miami on a 5-game winning streak. The last 1, 2, 3, 4 games, they scored 30 or more.
I say 49ers win by 2 scores.
They are no joke. But if y'all remember, a certain moderator told y'all in the offseason that was the team to watch out for was Miami. I told y'all that. And lo and behold, I look like a genius again.
I'm not giving you no props for that. I mean, Miami has pretty much the last 10 years the number 1 pick in the draft. It's supposed to be good. Look at that.
They got a lot of money. They signed everybody. They still sign the people. They sign people all the time. But Lamar got a question. Let me make sure I put the question up before we go to the Cowboy topic. Question for 49ers. Do you think CMC will hold up? Y'all banged up the running back. I may have touched on it, but yeah, I feel like they just got to not use every play. You know, balance it out with Mason. Start getting Jennings more involved. I want y'all to know this. Jennings has got the most third down conversions for this year. He's our third down guy, literally. Go to Jennings, open it up, but you don't have to use CMC running like that every play. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I feel like he'll he's not a give the ball to him every down. We don't need to do that. We have enough of a
but y'all did try though. When he first got there, when Debo was out, y'all did that mess. And I'm telling y'all, y'all got 3 players. Y'all got CMC, Debo, and the receiver. You know, and the tight end. I'm sorry. The tight end. You got 3. Ayuk is not even. I'm not. No. Y'all got 3. Y'all got the running back. Y'all got Debo, and y'all got the tight end. You know what I'm saying? spread that ball out. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. If y'all go out up there, whatever, and try to score fast and stuff like that, they're gonna blow y'all out.
Listen, hopefully we watch the Kansas City tape because they're gonna do the same thing Kansas City did, but they don't have the same quarterback that Kansas City had, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, we gotta play a good game. You're coming up over the top. Just make sure wherever Tyreek go, they're gonna move him around. Just make sure you got two people on him because one person in space ain't catching him. He is too fast. Like that dude got a different gear that I don't know if I've seen in pads before. So that's where we are. But yeah, that's my Niners. I'm a Niner fan, so I can go on forever about us, but I wanted to break that at least mention that because we are in the conversation. Cello, we still in the race. Cello, we still in the race. All right, man. All right, so Cowboys, y'all got some explaining to do. Your owner, which, we love the term owner in the NFL, and the players got to report to their owner. We know that your owner is, it's amazing how technology works. So I don't even know. So basically, a photo from 1957 at actually one of it's a really important moment in time in Little Rock, Arkansas, where high school students, white high school students, were blocking denying the access to black students back in 1957. And the photograph happens to be a certain owner there in attendance, and a lot of people were wondering what was he doing there. And he's getting a lot of backlash from it. LeBron brought it up and made it a thing for the media to see. Which again, we're gonna talk about that. The fact that he made a big thing about it. Like, yo, it's funny that y'all mentioning Kyrie to me, but we see Jerry Jones up in this picture, which affects my people, and y'all ain't asking me nothing about it. B. Clark, I need you to come on camera, sir, to give me a take on was he just, not even on what's your take on this, man? Being one, you're a black man, you're a Cowboy fan, there's a weird balance. Like, what's your take on it? What's the backlash that's coming with this? Your owner says, to his defense, I'll say what he said. He said he was just there out of curiosity because he wanted to know what all the commotion was about. B. Clark, the floor is yours. And then I will go around, starting with Terrence.
First of all, for real, man, as a black man, right? That photo was, to me, was very disturbing. Just overall in general, no matter who.
You break it up a little bit. Let me hear you say that part again. I want to make sure we hear you clearly.
I said, no matter who it may be, being as a black man, you know what I'm saying? That picture was very disturbing.
Yes.
I mean, very disturbing. 1957. I mean, can people change? Maybe, I don't know. But he gonna get a lot of backlash from that. Who is that? You got people forcing people to. I mean, they just force somebody to sell a team.
Yeah.
Do I think Jerry? To me, I think Jerry's too big of a name in right now as an owner to make him sell that team. Nobody has them. I mean, I don't think nobody has the amount of money right now. You had to hit about 4 or 5 actually buy that team for real. I just think it's disturbing, man. A lot of backlash from it. The NFL should hold him accountable for it, no matter how long ago it was. You know what I mean? To let it get out there like that.
Any sensitivity training that he needs, or issues with apology, with that was a criminal event. It was 3 years after the Supreme Court ruling. So, like, wasn't like they didn't know that they was coming. That was a talk in the school. It was kind of weird that he curiosity.
I think the thing is so the Cowboys have a press conference, right? They got a Dallas Cowboys press conference. Yeah, he went on the radio and said, he hasn't actually issued a real statement regarding the situation. Right? So, for one, do you actually care this is out there? You know what I mean? Do you really care this is out there? For two, I mean, you are in the public eye. Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, what the players gonna think? What the players gonna think. So that's gonna be our big thing.
Yeah.
The issue of state. Hopefully, to the players, letting them know what's going on and letting them know, you know, how you feel, or telling them might feel the same way. You know? It could be.
So for him, I guess the weird thing is he being associated with like moments where we kind of look at him side eye. He got the kneeling thing. We remember him with the kneeling, how he was like, no, y'all gonna stand. He was adamant. Y'all gonna stand. We ain't gonna disrespect the flag. If anybody disrespect flag, you remember disrespect the flag. You remember the backlash with that. Then you had the situation where the person whipped out their phone, I think back in 2017, 2013, and he wished the person, you know, I guess the person was getting married, and he like said, yeah, you know, he's giving a black girl, right? Like, and made like a comment about that. And that was documented because he recorded, you know, the message on the phone to the person that, you know, that was getting married. And you had a couple of questionable moments, man, where it's like, who are you really? You know, so
I think he was the main one. I think he was the main referee, and I don't know if anybody thinks like I think, but I think he was the main one in getting the Kaepernick blackball, though.
I wouldn't doubt that.
That's just me. I'm a Cowboy fan, but Jerry as a person, man, I've never liked Jerry. Just the way he carries himself. I've never liked Jerry. Even from the way, like you said, killing thing. Kaepernick was there. He wasn't even involved in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Jerry has a way of going about things. I wouldn't put it past Jerry to back in 57. You know what I mean? Back in there when that photo, I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him today. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Now again, it was 1957. He was a sophomore, but some things. I guess the thing that we're looking at is black people like that rooted type thing. Terrence, I'm gonna go to you on, you know, speaking from the perspective of those, you know, the opposite of those that are not Cowboy fans. What's your take on this circulating and how it's relevant to today in terms of the sports world and with everything that's going on just recently? So it's kind of ironic this popped up.
Absolutely. I give my man B Clark credit, you know what I'm saying, for his take on it, because that's 100% correct. I think the problem is holistically is that when you look at the situation that people are brushing it under the rug and talking about that he was 14 years old. Now, one of the biggest things that people aren't talking about is that he was 14 years old in 1950, whatever. At that time, there was no internet. I don't know. I don't know what type of communication that they all were using. So he knew what he was going there. Okay, it wasn't like he was going there to find out what he was going there for. He was going there for him and his boys, his partners, people in that town knew what they were going there for. It wasn't like they were going there to say, oh, let's go see what's going to happen. No, they knew, because the government knew what was going to happen. That's why they sent troops there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like these people were being, you know, they were being threatened, etc. It wasn't a situation where they were trying to find out what was going to happen. They were going there, whatever, to see if they can bully the situation, basically, for the most part, whatever, and stop what the government said was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at it from an overall standpoint, 14 years old or not, what we say, hate is a learned behavior. Okay, 14 years old or not, whatever, he was impressionable. All right, and it was a learned behavior, I believe, whatever, amongst his folks. And he was going there, whatever, to go with his people because he was down with it. Now, did he mean for it to be caught on camera? No, he didn't mean for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, it was cool because the rest of his people were doing the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? And so now, because it's out there, it's I didn't condone it. Like we don't see a picture of him trying to hold people back from allowing the young lady to go upstairs. We saw him in the crowd with the rest of the people. So how many? So the problem is that we're sitting here trying to say, oh, he was an impressionable young man. He was just sitting there looking. The problem is that what was he doing there? I mean, what was he doing there? And then when you look at the overall fact, whatever, his football coach told him not to go.
Oh, see, I missed that part. I didn't know that part. Okay.
His coach told him not to go. And so he went anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so what happens when a person tells you not to go somewhere, you go and you go there, right? Guess what happened? A group of his friends and their fathers, whatever, oh, we're going to go, we're going to do this is our town, and this and that. And this is what happens as a result. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I can't sit here and say whatever that he was an impressionable young man. At the end of the day, guys, whatever, there's certain things that we as men, as young men, older men, whatever, you know what I mean, held accountable for. All right. And we don't get that same pass that he gets. You know what I'm saying? If we would have witnessed a crime or something of that nature, the police, whatever, is not going to sit there and say you just witnessed it. They're going to put the pressure on us, whatever, to say what happened. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm not going to give him the pass, whatever, or write a pass to say whatever. Oh, I was just a 14-year-old young man. No, you were warned not to go. Number one. Number two, whatever, you knew was going to happen. You knew what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And again, whatever, back then, everyone keeps talking about, well, you know, back then, whatever. Listen, you in Arkansas, okay? You're in Arkansas.
1957.
All right? We're in Arkansas, whatever. We're talking about segregation. You know what I'm saying? So you knew what time it was. Like I said before, and I'll say it wasn't like you was at the front of the line trying to hold people back from doing something. You were in the crowd. You were in the lynch mob. Sorry you call it that, but that's what it was.
Now, in regards to like people, and I know that even on the chat, that was a big conversation. We're looking at a still photo, and we can't really just, can't associate him with the actions of others just because he was in the crowd. But like you said, him being in the crowd gives you the opportunity to judge that because you're like, dude, you're there.
My question is, as I say all the time, whatever, why was he there? Why was he there? It was influence. The influence of the crowd, whatever, was the reason why he was there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like listen. This thing was national news. National news.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that you were going there to find out what was going on, whatever. You knew what was going on.
A lot of commotion. I just want to
Right. And the people that were on the side of right at that time, whatever, those people wasn't standing on the other side. They was on the side of right and righteousness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's not sit here, whatever, and cower down and say, oh, you know, he was just a 14-year-old young man, whatever. No, the unfortunate thing was, a 14-year-old man made a bad decision. Whatever. And because of it, let me just say, if your son made a decision at 14 years old that you didn't like, you're not going to sit there, whatever, and say, well, he was inquisitive, especially when you told him not to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, you know
what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear the fact, whatever, that he was a young 14-year-old young man, whatever. At the end of the day, whatever, our decisions have consequences. And it's just that his consequence came 50 years later.
50. So let me ask you. So this is for everybody kind of across the board, because again, if anyone has a view that you want to share on it, just give me this hand so I'll know, or whatever, so I can let you chime in and respond to either what Chairman said or give your own take on it. But I guess we fast forward to now, 1957. That happened then. I guess one of the big things that this topic is we've seen the outcome with Kyrie from just sharing a post of a video and the backlash and all that came with that. And again, it just seemed like we keep repeating this thing when it comes to stuff that is offensive to us. Whether you was dead 50 years ago or not, that's still a relevant thing to us now as a people that we're still dealing with racism. So when you are, let alone an owner of a team, and we see that you were in the crowd of such a big event like that, and then we look today that, it's not even talked about outside of had it not been brought up, a couple of other platforms and players, and he's not the only one, LeBron wasn't the only one. And I know that even with LeBron, I think even him kind of going against Kyrie, because initially he wasn't. I don't think he didn't call him stupid for what he did. I kind of said he made a bad decision with the with the whole sharing the and comments and stuff like that. So now it's like we want people to like if this respect thing gotta go across the board in terms of keeping the same energy is what I'm saying. If
Right.
we are
When you think about it, man, it's just like when people say, well, I wasn't around at that time, whatever, but your people were. Your people profited off of the situation. Your family profited off of slavery, whatever. So guess what? That money, whatever that you passing across your family, whatever, that's blood money. You know what I'm saying? So just because you didn't actively participate, whatever, doesn't mean that you didn't benefit from it. And when I hear people say whatever that he didn't do this or he didn't do that, whatever, that mindset that he had back then, that mindset, whatever was in well with him, was those people that he was around. You know what I'm saying? Listen, at the end of the day, like I said before, man, you know what I'm saying? It's like I said earlier on in chat. We look at, these NFL guys, whatever, look at these NFL people, these people that own these teams and things like that, whatever. This is not anything about what this. They don't care about these people, in my opinion, personally. Okay? Because if they cared about them personally, then they would not be broke within 5 years of leaving the league. You know what I'm saying? They would help. They would help them become financially secure and help them continue to build their financial future. The problem is, whatever, that's not what's happening. And so it's a study that was done years ago and said that if you would have placed all the wealth across the world and pass it out evenly, that all the wealth will get back into the 1%'s hand, because guess what? Whatever, people are going to continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. So if you don't, so the thing is, whatever, is that right now, whatever all these players do, whatever, is help them make money. When have you ever seen Bob Kraft of the New England Patriots, whatever, give a part of his team, whatever, shares of Kraft? You ain't seen that. You ain't seen him say, instead of taking this signing bonus, whatever, why not give you 15, 20 years of Kraft? He ain't say that. You know what I'm saying? He understands money. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just look at it like this, man. We got to keep in mind, and I'll say this and I'll stop. It's like I said when the Donald Sterling situation occurred. You have to understand that these athletes, these actors, whatever, they are paid employees.
Yes.
They don't own anything. They are paid employees. So when you're a paid employee, whether you're paid well or not, you're paid to make the corporation money, whether it be by what you do, your decisions, or how you play. Same thing. No different.
So I'm gonna share. Thank you for that insight, Terrence. Very, very, very insightful. A couple of really key points. Lamar said, "Disturbing news about Jerry, but because it was over 60 years ago and not now, the NFL will do nothing to Jerry Jones. He has a primary seat in the NFL country club. That is a fact." Simply to say, again, you're an owner, you're at a pivotal event like that. This just happened to be one thing that came out. We don't know if there's other stuff documented that people have photos of that you might have been at. That was just one that got leaked. That could have been somebody saying, "Hey, I got something on you. Don't play." We don't know.
I believe Daniel Snyder, whatever. Daniel Snyder going to go. I think Daniel Snyder is actually going to let some stuff loose, man. Before he get up out that seat, he going to let some stuff loose, man.
He might.
He going to let some. He got some bombs, I believe, man. And they said that he had some of these owners followed for the past few years by a private investigator. You know what I'm saying? So if that picture was found, then I believe there's some more stuff that's going to be found too.
And I think it's circulating now. B. Clark, with the fact that it's circulating now, like, why now? You understand what I'm saying? Why now?
Yeah.
Do we even know who leaked it? Did they ever say who leaked the picture? Like, where it came from?
They didn't say who leaked it. And that was my same
post. Washington Post.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Somebody had to give it to the Washington Post. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was wonderful, you know what I mean? So my thing about it was I had the same question that you had, man. Why now? Like, it was 1957. You know what I mean? Almost 50, 60 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So why?
Yeah.
And so so this is my question, right? And then I mean, I'll talk about Pops, man. I was just kind of fan too, by the way.
Oh yeah, okay.
To my Pops.
Shout out to him. Right? Shout out to him.
So I was talking about power. I was like, I guess people can change. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I guess people, and just going through life as a black man. Growing up,
if you want to chime in, let me know.
Growing up back in the day, and then seeing it, yeah. I mean, I guess people do change to that extent. But Jerry, I mean, to me, Jerry just had. I mean, I ain't gonna say he a racist guy, but he does have that personality that way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
good old boy.
Yeah. So
definitely a good old boy.
NFL not gonna do anything, just like Lamar. Not gonna do anything because so far, even if it was 20 years ago, I don't think NFL because of the name. Only because of the name.
Yeah.
And so, like I said before, I'm a Cowboy fan, but I've never really liked Jerry.
He's had some moments, man.
He has some.
So let me say this. When we think about it, the NFL. If we really probably if we could be totally honest, if we literally as fans took a step back and looked at the NFL and its totality in terms of how they are with us and us, we follow the rules, be good, but outside of that, don't violate that. In terms of like Kaepernick's kneeling thing, let's look at this in the whole. One, there's no minority owner. Let's start with that. And it's dominated by the minority. You can't overlook that. Scrap 1957. Let's look at now. You cannot ignore that. You look on the field, most teams are black. There's no black owner of any team. Can't ignore that. Let's start there. Then when you had the kneeling thing, the NFL admitted, yeah, we blackballed them. Yeah, we blackballed Eric Reed, but we're going to settle, and then we're going to do a Black Lives Matter campaign for the next 2 years to kind of keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
That's why, if I can be honest with you, when I stopped watching football a couple of years ago, it was based on the Kaepernick. When I seen my Niners, and I've mentioned it on the show before, and then when he left the Niners because he had fulfilled his contract, and nobody signed him because he kneeled and he got blackballed. And Eric Reed, who was an all-pro, got blackballed and literally blackballed in the sense that they wouldn't get touched at all. And then I see that and I stopped watching football. It turned me off. Timmy, you know this? Those that know, I stopped watching. Even the Kansas City Super, I stopped watching. And it wasn't until he settled and had the gag order that I watched. I didn't watch until he settled. When he settled, then I said, you know what am I going to hold out for? He had already settled with them. And then he still tried out for them. So if he moved on,
right,
and he can't talk about it because he clearly hasn't gone on anybody's platform and ever talked about it. The only time he even addressed it literally was in his documentary on Netflix, which they haven't done a part 2 to, because part 2 was going to be college and then NFL. They only let him do that one. They have not brought back the other 2. The first one was phenomenal in high school. But I digress. So I say all that to say, if we're honest with ourselves as not just fans, but as African Americans or black or Hispanic, whatever your ethnicity is, and you look at the totality of NFL, it's going to turn you off, to be honest with you, in terms of some things. I'll just leave it at that. Cello, Timmy, I'll let y'all chime in. That's my view as a moderator as we get ready to get y'all final comments, and then we move on to close the show out. Cello, come on screen if you got something to say, Timmy. I'll pass the floor to you if you got any comments on it or anything regarding this situation.
I agree with what all y'all have said about the owner, Jerry Jones, that was leaked from the picture from 60 years ago. And I understand that the league want to protect the Shield. And the Shield is not going to do anything to Jerry Jones at that particular time. But when it comes to like racism, sexual harassment with other employees of the NFL. Like, for instance, Daniel Snyder, he got hit with the lawsuit of a few female employees from the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
And they want to change, the league want to change the image from the Redskins to the Commanders.
As if the Redskins wasn't offensive for all those years. Okay.
And they want to sell the team.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Jim Jones racism, the league couldn't even touch him.
Yeah. And again, it is a still photo from 57, 60 years ago, right? You know, we can't go and say that's him, but that's him now. But at that moment, that is a pivotal. Now, I'm gonna look at you, little side.
Now,
people hold up a team that then I think it's, you know. Thank you, Tim. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I might have cut you off. Go ahead.
If they saw that 60 years ago from that pit, they would have done something about it the very next day. But when it happened 60 years ago, then he must have changed his life by then.
That would be the thought. So, yeah, that would be the thought. All I'm saying, and I guess the echo of other people, is keep that same energy when it comes to us. When we speak about historical things that may have happened to a different, group of people and things like that, like those happen at that time. That may not be how I feel. I just feel like it should be even balance. Again, I don't know those situations. I'm not invested in it to that degree, but because I already gave y'all my assessment of him a year ago in terms of how I feel about him. But Cello, I give you the floor, man. I want to make sure I give you a word in edgewise. Go ahead, sir. If you care, you may not. I don't know.
Yeah. As far as the photo, say whatever, pretty much like I can't prove, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't hear words, you don't see video of it. All we got is a snapshot. Say whatever he wants, pretty much. As far as what really happened, and as far as what's today feels, minority, black people, I don't know. As far as things, I look at it as
you break it up, so I don't want to be sure I hear you. Nah, you fading in and out. I want to make sure I hear you as we rap. Go ahead. It's on you.
Hear me?
Yeah, you good.
As far as you do think of, why question LeBron as they ask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And LeBron don't play for the Nets.
I don't know who. I think about a lot of things. I think about who were the reporters in that room. Were there black reporters in that room? Were there Hispanic reporters in that room? And if they didn't ask that question, you can't expect somebody else to ask that question. You as a black man, if you were in that room and you didn't ask that question, why did you ask that question when you had the most time to do that, knowing that this picture is circulating? So I start looking at certain things. It's crazy because even with the NFL, a lot of cats money, but cats still continue to play for the NFL.
Yeah.
Saying I look at it as, listen, if money not treat players right, they're not. Why not get together and see? The problem is everybody on the same page. They might some like talking, but they like that too.
Yeah.
They want all the money for themselves.
Mhm.
So that's my whole thing about the NFL. I'm like, listen, there's no minority owners, why y'all not getting together to build up another league where you get the money? If you already got the money there, set up a plan to develop another minority owner. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this. I'll say this just to answer that, Cello. You see what the big three went through. They don't make it very easy. Let's be real. When you talk about going against the juggernaut of an industry, of an NFL or NBA, those are gigantic entities. And again, I'm hoping that with LeBron, because I know LeBron wants ownership and things like that, I'm hoping that'll be at some point the players will wake up and see that and say, yo, let us do our own. But I don't see it happening just because of the red tape that they might go through to try to even think about it. Remember, there's the USFL. They had competition before, back in the day. They had competition since.
But I look at it too. I look at it too. Like Ice Cube. Come on, let's really be honest, man. How many cats really was rocking with him?
No, but remember, the thing he faced was the NBA tried to block him from using former NBA players. Dude,
all right.
Y'all don't even want them on your roster no more. They can't get a livelihood by playing for him. They're like, oh, well, they play for us, so you
all right, but
their name. You don't own their name. So that's crazy.
When they tried to block him, when they tried to block that, what you gotta know that's coming. So what is your plan for when they do try to block it? What are you doing as the players? The players that are in the NBA. You've seen that happen. What are you doing to help, you know what I'm saying? Further the purpose of what you're trying to do, you know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, cats signing contracts, that's another thing. Once you sign that contract, man. Once you sign that contract, cats is like, I gotta sign this contract. I ain't trying to lose no money. So you know with stuff like this, it takes sacrifices. You know, back then, civil rights movement. Listen, it takes sacrifices. Some cats don't want to make sacrifices, man. So my thing is, listen, if you're still playing in the league, cats still playing. Listen, it's gonna be tough at times, but if everybody really on the same page, things will get done. It's just I just don't believe everybody on the same page, man. It's cats that they not willing to make the sacrifice. They're not willing to make the sacrifice.
So, thank you, Cello. Terrence, I'm gonna come to you. I'll say this. I feel like the new generation are like the age of our children. They are entrepreneurial thinkers, independent thinkers. They're not so rooted in the way things used to be. They actually challenge the way things are. So we may in the next couple of years see those thinkers to say, why are we giving the NFL all this power? Why are we giving NBA? They may be the ones to say why and say, nope, we're going to go start our own, just like they got the fan-led football league right now, where fans own that league, and it's giving guys opportunities to play, and they're getting paid. They're not getting paid NFL money, but they're continuing their careers, and they're still building a resume by them playing in this fan-sponsored league. So I'm seeing already that the thought process for this generation is a little bit different than ours, where we're like, well, we don't want to push against and challenge the status quo. They don't accept the status quo. Terrence, it's on you.
Oh, and everything that you guys said is 100% on point. I just think that I think a lot of times people don't get upset or they don't have an issue with something until it affects them. And when it affects them, that's when they want to fly off the handle and go crazy and do this. I mean, we just saw with the pandemic until certain people got sick. People people thought that COVID wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? So we live back. React and until we don't sit guys,
you break it up.
A lot of these guys with money, man, you know what I mean, they're not tripping over it. They're like, I make money, I'm doing whatever, I'm not rock the boat. but they don't understand the legacy part that you think behind whatever, that you're not leaving a legacy for your kid, you whatever, to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we just have to realize, understand whatever is that until you have control, you can't call the shots. You know what I'm saying? And Jeff Bezos told these guys, I don't care what y'all say, I'm not taking the movie off my platform. How about that? And ain't nobody said not one thing.
Nothing. Crickets.
I don't see the NBA talking about something. We're gonna take these NFL games off Prime, none of that stuff. They whatever, they kept it moving. And I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, whatever, he who wears the crown calls the shots, man. And unfortunately, whatever, until people realize that until the NFL players or any of these athletes or actors or anyone that's into entertainment realize that they are the talent that people watch and people pay for.
Yep.
And they're the ones that really drive this whole thing. Until they realize that, man, it's going to continue to be the way it is, whatever. Until they realize that they're the ones that have the talent. They're the ones that people are coming to see. They're not coming to see Jerry Jones. They're not coming to see Kraft. They're not coming to see Daniel Jones. They're not coming to see any of that. They're coming to see the players and the singers and the actors. That's it. And until they realize that, until they realize they have the control, it's going to continue to be the same thing. Because when you look at it's just when you look at across the board, when it comes to us, man, a lot of us, our people that have blood, sweat, and tears. They were actors, they were singers, they were this, they were that, whatever. Dude, they're ending up broke. They're more famous than rich. You know what I'm saying?
I just started watching the Netflix series. No advertising for Netflix, but they covered the Lion Sleeps Tonight, and how the original creator of that song, family got nothing. Nothing. So I was what in the
it's just messed up, bro. Like when you think about it, whatever, is that the ones that don't have the talent are the ones controlling the shots. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones saying who get a shot and who doesn't get a shot, whatever. And then people just continue to go with that same system. Like when you just look at it from a music standpoint, you know what I mean? You got to run with the major in order to be good. But you have people that are independents that own their stuff, whatever, but people won't support them.
And that's that. If we could get and notice the people that understand independence are the younger folk that I don't need to go through no major. I'll establish my own fan base and get my thousands of people, millions of people following me, and I'll release it directly to my fans. And they understand that principle.
Yep. They understand a lot of stuff, man.
All we see is, I need a major or I need the NFL. The younger people view it differently. They understand. They don't
need the security. They don't need the security of. They don't need the security, and that's the biggest thing. They're like, they're going to make it or they're going to fall flat on their face, and that's what you see. Like I was talking to a young lady, or actually not. I was actually the person talking to me about their daughter. They was like, I don't believe in this and that 401k. If you don't believe in that type of stuff, she's like, nah, I'm gonna make it happen on my own.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's not risky, but I respect you young and she listen.
But when you think about it, whatever, when you think about the bare bones and you do your research, whatever, is not risky.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot. Think about insurance in a lot of time. We be paying, again, we're not doctor, but insurance, you be paying a ton of money for insurance. I'm talking about older heads. And you look at how much you get out of your paycheck. You're like, dang, I gave the company back. This one. And you may not have gone to the doctor the whole year. You may not, all you did was regular checkups, but nothing that because you're paying for the what if. You're always paying for the what if. So this generation is not so nervous about the what if. They feel like they're gonna make it happen and they believe in themselves. So Cello, I agree with your statement that and we've echoed this before. David's echoed this. We've all echoed this. Steve has echoed this. A bunch of us have echoed this. And Terrence, you hit the nail on the head. When you guys who are the talent understand your power,
it's over.
Y'all so powerful that you got these random guys on this show called Fanatics talking about how good y'all are at what y'all do.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of people like us that go and literally make content based on how good you guys perform at your jobs.
Yep.
You don't need that big entity. They've made you believe that at some point, hopefully younger generation, you guys will take control in your destiny, because one thing's for sure, those owners pass those teams down to their kids.
Yep.
Those teams, there's a bunch of coaches that are coaching now and their kids was right on the sideline with them. There's a bunch of owners that have their kids that have these teams, and it go on for generations.
Generation, bro.
Show as a player.
Yep. Think about it. Think about it. These people beat some of these teams for billions of dollars.
Millions or billions? I think it's
billions.
Did y'all see the? I don't know if y'all saw the interview from Deion Sanders. I think about a week ago after the thing came out. But he had a great point. He's saying to get 2 to 4 expansion teams, right, and mandate that they be owned by minorities. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
So,
yes, sir.
Great idea. And
not complicated.
Not complicated. And my second one is, it's a statement, but it's a question at the same time. But isn't Jay-Z still the front runner for the Washington Commanders team for the owner?
Yeah, it's a bunch of investment.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be him, Jeff Bezos, and I think some other people involved. Yeah. So I guess maybe that's the reason why they ain't tripping off of Jeff Bezos right now, because he's about to pay $6-7 million for that team.
If Bezos already secured a day with the NFL that he got games broadcasted, it's pretty clear Bezos gonna win that. I'm just saying.
So Bezos,
in essence, that would be Jay-Z, because Jay-Z and him on the same team.
Well,
but this.
Listen, man.
My thing with Jay-Z, this
I ain't got no passes for him either, because I know how he acted during the Kaepernick thing. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Don't get no pass.
This is my thing. The thing with Jay-Z though, like, his mindset. It ain't about you. It ain't about you.
It's about him. Yeah.
I don't care about. It's about.
They don't see this. They see this. I'll leave it at that as we close. What is that? All kinfolk? What is it? All kinfolk and your kinfolk? I believe that. Anyway, listen, man. Fanatics Live for the fans.
We've seen the history.
Facebook ain't gonna cancel us. If they do, guess what? We'll go and I gotta put it on the website and say, hey, here's where you can go watch us. Young people, y'all motivated us to think outside the box. I appreciate y'all, because y'all are not traditional, and you literally have created lanes for yourselves doing all of these great things. That from, hey, I'm gonna broadcast my games, and I'm gonna broadcast me playing the game. We doing a reaction to this. You guys have made these lucrative professions from your house. Applause to y'all, where we see how you guys are able to do it. So we want to challenge NFL, NBA players, talent, whoever you are worldwide. Consider the independent route. Here you go. Use the platform of the big entity to get national recognition. Once you've established that, which is your fan base, you no longer need the big entity, because you already have your fan base. I'll leave it at that. So, Fanatics Live, for the fans, by the fans. Listen, we are never scared of any topic. We've dealt with, from Brittany Griner, we've dealt with black head coaches, with the Miami situation, how they was doing really funny stuff with the interview process there. We talked about Jerry Jones just last week. We had a really good conversation about what did we talk about last week? It was something big that happened. My brain went blank. But a whole
we talked about Kyrie and Kanye the week before.
Yep, with Kyrie. So this is not new. Addicts for the last couple of years, if it's sports related or if it's an issue that deal with or affects us as individuals and it's dear to us, we talk about it on here. We get the sport, but just understand, it don't stop there. We who we are. So they want to be clear. So appreciate all of y'all, man. I appreciate that you guys came on tonight. Make sure you follow us at on Facebook and Instagram at Fanatics Live, #join the discussion, and YouTube can be on screen where you can be part of the, I like to say, panel of experts. So we're gonna see what happens this week with our teams. But we always gotta be conscious of those that's in leadership and that's running stuff, because ultimately, man, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth, and then players definitely question stuff. So, you know, we as fans, we can say stuff that players can't because, like Terrence said, they're employees. Like any employee, you gotta watch what you say about your employer. There is repercussions for that. So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the Giants. Shout out to Denver. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons. Shout out to the Cowboys. Shout out to my Niners. Bang bang. Y'all have a good one, man. Until we meet again. Week 13 is coming. It's crunch time. Dable said the season starts now. CMC is our main back. We lost ours. The Atlanta is like they need an identity. The Cowboys is like, yo, we got more balance than we've ever had. And Terrence is like, yeah, we don't know guys. So he's still repping his squad, but that's how we operate, man. Fanatics Live, for the fans, by the fans. Salute to y'all, man. Y'all be blessed, man. Later,
Have a blessed week, gentlemen.